What is going on, everybody? Happy Thursday, Masters Thursday. Bobby Fi and Eric Sheets-Haber. Real quickly, want to mention, use the code Masters TDFS for 33% off your first month. Awesome packages. But I did not do well last night, largely due to the late game. But I didn't realize how much a difference it made to Sheets. So Sheets, why don't you start off talking a little bit about your last night, and then we'll get into today's slate.
Yeah, so I ran a little hot in the end of the Minnesota game. Got a couple of home runs in there, and it put me into first place in the whatchamacallit, in the 555. And I had Jacob Churio, who had like 400 fantasy points from Milwaukee, so he was locked down. But obviously a lot of people had him. But what I had to have happen, I had to have like almost literally 4 innings of like nothing happening in like Colorado, Milwaukee. And so we talked about this, right? Like, said, well, if you're in first place, you can't count your chickens yet. But 5th inning, nothing. 6th inning, nothing. 7th inning, nothing. 8th inning, nothing. And going to the 9th, this is actually kind of ironic. So going into the 9th inning, what I needed was, I mean, I could have absolved like a lot, okay. But then what had to happen is if I held them off in the top of the 9th, I had one at bat from Emilio Tovar that I had to fade for like first place. So they brought in Colorado. They brought in their ace, whatever that means, reliever, and they even said, "Boy, I wonder if he's going to do okay here. He's used to these high leverage situations. I wonder how he's going to do down 10-2." And he couldn't find the plate. He threw the ball into the dugout for an error. And one thing led to another, and Milwaukee scored 7 runs in the top of the 9th. I could have even taken 5 runs, actually. But then, like the great irony, and it's so funny, I didn't even realize people were sweating the Discord. I went to the Discord, and like the whole Discord was going nuts, without me there for like a long time. And then, oh my God, what a terrible beat, what a terrible beat. And then, of course, Rhodey, as usual, he like once the beat's over, was like, oh, now I need this guy, like whatever it is.
Yeah.
And then, but then, like the great irony is, then the bottom of the 9th, after it was like kind of over anyway, that Tovar guy actually got a single who would have butted me for first anyway. But giving up the 7 runs didn't help. But it was definitely quite the thing to sweat, because this guy literally couldn't find the plate. And Milwaukee kept on, just doing not quite enough to pass me. And then this Dunn guy got me like at the end. So
yeah,
what happens when you fade chalk? I mean, if you get away with it, great. But then you have to fade it all when you put the number up. So listen, I was happy with the way, not happy with the way it ended, but totally happy with the performance. And moving on to today, where we just have the afternoon slate. And interestingly, the first build I did, I want to do another one. I was getting like all this money left on the table, and I'm looking here. I guess it's because this pitching is so terrible, I suppose.
Yeah, it's just a weird, stupid little slate again with Colorado on it. I'm going to go back to what I said yesterday, and I don't care if Colorado scores 20 runs again. I am never going to stack the team, Colorado, the team that's going to be 30% owned plus on a 5-game slate, especially a 5-man. I might have some 3-mans or 4-mans, but I'm just not doing what everybody else is going to do. So I already know what I'm doing today with as far as that goes, because I just have no interest in doing that, even though it's obviously clearly the best spot on the slate, and it's going to be hard to avoid it. But I think I might go back to what I did yesterday. I was in first in the lottery for a while yesterday.
I saw that. I saw that.
It was a little early on, obviously, but the Colorado going completely nuts did not help. I think it took us about the 7th inning of that game to knock me out of there, somewhere around there. All right, so Sheets, should we pop it up and go through each game?
I just need a second.
Yeah, give me 1 second.
But good. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I mean, it's annoying when you fit. Listen, I was going to say it's annoying when you fade the chalk, but if you're going to play Milwaukee stacks, yes, sometimes you'll get it perfect and you'll track somebody down who had a little lower owned stuff, but most of the time you won't. So I kind of like the idea of what you're saying about trying to, just trying to. I don't know how you're going to do. So you're going to just going to X out Colorado 5-mans or X out all 5-mans? Or
I think I might X out all 5-mans again. But like leave myself room to have Colorado. I'm not necessarily going to X out Colorado again. I'm sorry, Milwaukee again. Excuse me. I don't know that I can quite go that far, but I think it's okay. I mean, the Boston game's not uninteresting. I just think that the 5-man thing, and it worked yesterday because the team scored 17 runs. What are you going to do? But I really don't care. I just would rather try to avoid, in baseball on a 5-game slate, and I'm not playing too many lineups, so it sort of speaks to, like, if I was playing 150 and maxing out everything, I probably wouldn't have such hard stances. But for right now, I'm doing definitely a no 5-man as of this moment.
Well, who do we like? So look, funny. It looked like Tampa was off to the races, right? Yesterday.
Yeah, I know they got off to a good start. That was partly what got me going. And I also had some Angels stacks as well, as we sort of discussed. A little combination of both, but did not continue going that direction. So I'm just trying to double check your projections versus Saberson, which is
I'm about to actually change them right now. I just ran this. That's why.
Yeah.
I didn't know what your real schedule was, so I went at 12 and I saw that you made it 12:15. You probably told me that, but I forgot.
No, I just texted you a little late, but it was my fault. I had a few things.
Oh, okay, so I didn't know exactly what we had planned. So let's see. So I'm just going to upload the DraftKings projections first, and then let me see what they look like. Because I remember when I did my first build, they were looking like just really just no pitching, like, at all.
Yeah, it's not pretty.
Okay, so my number one, it's so funny. Like, my number one pitcher is like a projection of like 1.5x or something like that. It's like kind of nuts. So who do you like? Anybody in this first game?
Your projections are pretty glaringly different than Saberson's, more so today, I've noticed.
Yeah.
But I actually don't disagree with it entirely. I think the best option is, it's hard because, like, I think that Boston's an interesting stack, but I also like Bassett. I mean, again, we have to pick somebody, right? I guess you could make a case for Waka because of Minnesota can struggle against righties. He would probably be right in there. And then I think Littell for Tampa Bay is probably the other. I can't even say safe option. I don't feel as safe about any of these guys, but we got to play somebody. So that's probably where I'd be leaning, would be those three guys. I think the Gavin Williams, it is the White Sox. He's going to be the chalky one by a long ways. But I think there's plenty of room to avoid that if you want to. And I'm just going to double check the weather in this game because it is a little bit shaky, but it probably is okay. Let me take a quick look. All right.
I don't know what's going on with my projections today, but I'm once again, I'm barely having Milwaukee show up at all. So I don't know what to say. I don't know.
I'd imagine it'd be a lot of Colorado today. Well, actually, it's not as much as I would.
For me, it's more like Toronto and KC.
Okay, I can get behind both of those. Ober, the problem is Ober might be that's the other one who'd be, I consider, like, everybody I'd be stacking against my pitcher. So I'm waiting to rerun things here a little bit. That's so interesting because you did post yours, but for some reason I don't see it on the projections update when the last one was.
Oh, it's the same thing with the early.
No, it's working. It's going to SaberSim, so that's good. I just thought the projection update didn't say when it was, and I was just double checking.
I just did it like 5 minutes ago, so maybe.
Oh, maybe that's what it was.
And we're getting today's slate. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to say. I'm just literally not getting any more.
Yeah.
That's what I'm gonna say.
Yeah. I think it's probably not. Look, they're not. It goes. Hey, it's your thing. You love to not play the guys who just.
Let's do it again. Let's rebuild here. And I was leaving money on the table. First of all, it's a 5-game slate, like you said. So if you get all kinds of variations of stacks, don't be surprised. You have to have something though. It's got to be like at least a 4-3, no?
Yeah, but I don't care if it is. Actually, I don't think it has to be.
No.
But yeah, No, just whatever comes up. I'm happy to go with it. It's probably mostly going to be 4-3s. But I'm still waiting here just to make sure. Let me just see something here. All right, if I average that out, and then let me try to rebuild. See where I'm ending up, because I
know what's going on. You know what? This is totally my fault. This is why I wasn't ready. I wasn't prepared. Okay.
What happened?
No, I just have to redo the projections. It's kind of hard to explain, but
okay.
These are all no good. Let me see something. Or would be sorry. C.
No, you're fine. All right, I'm gonna go. I'll just use Goldie's and then Goldie. All right, I'm gonna have to refresh this thing and then rebuild mine. But I think so Williams is gonna be 50 some odd % owned as a pitcher. I'd be surprised if we don't get to a little bit of the White Sox if you are full stacking, because I mean, Gavin Williams is a good pitcher and he makes the most sense in the slate. But I just think if you want to get super leverage, playing the White Sox would probably be the way to do it. It's not a fun stack. Maybe not a stack. Maybe a secondary stack. It's an ugly lineup too, but they are super cheap. If you use a White Sox 3-man, then you could probably get away with playing some more of that other chalk. But I think Williams is going to be higher than 50% owned, which he's being projected at. So I'm going to redo this real quick and then see where we're at.
It's so stupid I did this.
Anybody off to I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter this early, but it matters if you lose your players this early. So
I really haven't looked.
If you have Patton Kizzire or Nick Dunlap, you're probably not feeling too good.
Oh, really? They're out already?
They're both 7 over. If you have Joe Highsmith, which I do in one of my highest buy-ins, you don't feel too good. He's 5 over. That's rough. And I really debated between him and a bunch of other guys who were all doing fine, not necessarily well, but fine.
And I think here, I'll pull this up. I think I was doing well in one of my single entries, but again, it's so hard. So many guys haven't started yet.
I don't care about the doing well or not. I just care about the guys who are playing themselves out of the tournament.
Yeah, so this driver thing. Let's see what this is doing. Yeah, so this one's got Yeager, Rye, and Scheffler and Connors. So these guys are obviously good. This is a single entry. This is pretty good, right?
Yeah.
So that's off to a good start. Got Yeager and Rye at no % owned. So that's.
How about the guy who's made the most? Well, he's so Højgaard has 5 birdies and an eagle, and he's 2 over, which is almost, and he's still got 2 holes to go. He's made 3 pars. He's got 3 doubles, and then 3 bogeys. It's pretty wild. And that was one of my plays. So at least he's scoring the point.
Chef was just cruising along, right?
Yep. He was.
Wow, I can't. Hideki. Nobody likes to play him. Do they?
Yeah, they didn't. They didn't do it at all. I knew they would be afraid of it. I'm more than double the field on him. We'll see what happens there. I think you get out of the day somewhere around even. I think you feel pretty good. Just to start off, I just don't really care. I just don't want my guys playing themselves out of it.
Well, the big news starts in 11 minutes when Homa takes the field.
Oh, right. We'll see how
I really hope he's not +5 after three holes. It's so possible.
Yeah.
But dude, he comes out -1 after 3 holes, and he's in the tournament. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Just don't need to be behind Freddie Couples, and you know what I mean.
Freddie Couples is actually in 5th place right now.
I'm sure, right? I'm sure he is.
He's 1 under through 10.
There it is.
So is Angel Cabrera. So.
Oh, really? And Mike Weir was -1 through a couple of holes too.
Yeah, I think he faded. Yeah, he's +2. He's still alive to make the cut.
Okay, so now I don't guarantee you, but okay. So here are some actual projections that make sense. Okay, sorry about that, everybody. Hope everybody didn't build lineups with what was there 5 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you have no idea what you would have gotten. Probably would have gotten some basketball players in your pitching spot. I don't know. Let's see. All right. So now let's look at. So now, all right. So these are actually legitimate things. So Gavin Williams, Soriano. So these are not like 1.5x projections anymore. So now let's start all over again. Okay. So, any weather to concern with today? I didn't see it.
Not really. It's not great hitting weather in Cleveland. I do think that the Gavin Williams play might be like 60+% owned by the time it's said and done.
Williams, Soriano, Waka, Bassett. You like over at all?
Yeah, I mean, I think Ober is interesting. I don't really have like a giant. I really don't like anybody, to be honest with you. I think Littell makes more sense than maybe the ownership is saying. I think he would be the guy who I would probably put as number 2. I guess he is going to be second highest owned. It's pretty close. But I think Littell makes quite a lot of sense. Again, it's just one of those slates. You don't have a whole lot of options to choose from. It's kind of an ugly.
So check this out. I guarantee you now this is going to show. Let me see. So now I would be getting Angels and Milwaukee would be my top 2.
Angels and Milwaukee. Okay, let's see what I'm going to. Boy, it really wants me to fade Gavin Williams on SaberSim, I think. All right, so we'll see what I'm getting out to running the Sims here. And I'm trying Goldie's projections out and then the averaged ownership. All right. And oh no, it's not. It's I've got Soriano as my highest owned quarterback. I almost said. I have Ryan Feltner as my second highest owned pitcher sheets.
Now we're talking. Now we can play.
Yeah, what is the hell is going on? Okay, I don't think I need that high of an ownership of them. That seems a little excessive. And other than that, I'm going to leave most of the things. And I am also getting the Angels in Minnesota and literally 0 Milwaukee. Oh no, wait, 1 Milwaukee stack at the moment, but I'm going to rebuild a little bit. I don't need this much of the Feltner. It feels a little excessive. But it's not the worst idea in the world on these little slates to try and do something a little bit fishy. It's just that might be a little too fishy for me.
This is like a reasonable, like right now. That's now I don't have 3,000 on the table in all these lineups. These are actually normal-ish sounding lineups. All right, let's take a look at FanDuel.
Yeah, I go ahead. I've not looked. I'm not playing it. Okay. Everything's sold out by the time I wake up, or not wake up, but the time I look over there.
Well, again, to show process again. So again, and Bobby's doing a lot of experimenting with different combinations of projections, which is all very healthy. You know, sometimes he'll use just Goldie, sometimes he'll use just TrueDFS, sometimes he'll do an average of the two. And again, anything to get a little different. And remember, baseball is like the difference in the projections are going to be small, but any difference is going to just create different builds. So I think that's very healthy. And again, there are probably other ways you could average them too. But again, I think it's all good in baseball. Let's see.
I'm going to take a quick look and make sure. 11, 18. Oh, there, I see it. All right, I'm just trying to get my projections to make sense because this doesn't quite make sense to me. Feltner, Cannon, okay. And
Steven Yeager just cruising up the course. No bogeys.
He was one of my decisions. It was a he and someone who was, I don't remember who the other one was, and versus Highsmith and somebody, and Highsmith is in second or whatever, so third to last. And Yeager is in first. It's really, really irritating me.
Scheffler, no bogeys through 7.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's what we get on FanDuel for those of you that are playing here. So again, I'm running this first, and I'd be getting, like, once again, Angels. Pretty Amazing. So let's send these out as well.
Just double checking a few things here real quick because I cannot say what I'm doing without knowing. Yeah, they're still updating. Okay. All right. All right. Let me rebuild it one more time here. And I think I'm going to end up with a lot more. I like Littell. That's the problem, but I do think that trying to get different, the Angels make some sense. It's like 80 degrees in Tampa, by the way, so it's like good hitting weather.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
And don't forget, everybody, there's no dome there anymore.
Yep. This kid Paris hits a home run every day.
What team is he on?
The Angels.
He's the new Mike Trout.
One of our members was saying that the other day that he and Dylan Moore were his favorite one-offs, and Dylan Moore was hitting 8th and he was hitting 7th, and I'm like, that's really not the way you should look at trying to stack it with one-offs. But sure enough, right away, boom, home run.
Wow.
But was it crazy? Yeah, I can never get behind I don't know. I mean, even again, unless you max enter, I just cannot buy that it makes sense to ever stack a team that's going to be 30% owned. I really don't. I don't know how you can do it profitably. I know people have done it, but everybody I ever see who wins on those nights, it's always the same people. It's always the guys who have the max entries. But you almost pulled it off without that. And I mean, it was the last 7 runs that got you. Although they were all in the 9th inning, which is especially painful.
Yeah. And it's not like anybody got like home runs to get me. It was like a death by 1,000 cuts. You know, it's like a single, a double, a single, a double. Then the error by the pitcher literally airmailed it over the first baseman's head.
Yeah.
The pitcher wanted just no part of being in that game. That was
yeah.
This is a FanDuel. I'm just leaving all kinds of money in this. How about this? Like here's a lineup that you just know you want to play. You're going to play Feltner at pitcher on FanDuel, leaving 1,000 on the table. You gotta love it, right? I mean, how is that?
Yeah.
How is that losing?
That is pretty funny.
The Littell lineups leave 1,700 on the table. That's the.
Yeah, I think that the money on the table thing makes a lot of sense today, I have to say.
But I'm not doing it on purpose. It's just happening.
Yeah, no, I know. I mean, I'm not. Neither am I. But I just don't care. Man, I really hope that we just get a bad day out of Milwaukee, and then we can be good. Okay, and I'm just getting this locked in here. And this is going to be. Yeah, I was like, what happened? I thought like, okay, once things turned, even after the 10 runs, I was looking and I was like still making a few $1,000 and I didn't play that much. So I was like, okay, it's going to be at least a profitable night. And I looked back and I was like, what the hell happened? I thought that game was over. No, it was not. But I don't have anything like you to that's rough in the 9th inning. I hate the 9th inning losses.
And I will say that in fairness, Joe Ryan did very, very fine for me. I will put that on record. I will put that on record. He wasn't like Kevin Gausman good, but he was pretty good. Kevin Gausman with a 35 piece.
Yeah, he was my highest owned by the end of it.
With no win.
Or was he my second highest owned? Yeah. No, he was I know he was awesome.
24 outs, no walks.
Yeah, he was great. Yeah, I was saying that when for some reason his numbers against this Red Sox team are incredible. All right, I'm going to take a quick look. And yeah, so now I am getting Soriano the most. I've got Soriano, then Ober, then Williams, then Littell, then Waka, then Feltner, then Bassett. But in a pretty similar range. And my stacks right now are Minnesota, the Angels, Boston, KC, and the White Sox. And no 5-mans for me. And my stack exposure types are 4-3, 4-4, 4-2, and then a couple 3-3s, a couple 3-3-2s. So that's sort of where I'm at right now. And we'll see if we can pull it off. Let's see. Let's get this uploaded so I have something in there. All right. Yeah, make sure everybody's playing. All right. Where are you at, Sheets?
With what?
With your bill?
Oh yeah, I'm
pretty set. Huh?
Yeah, I got. I'll tell you what I have here. Maybe I'll do some again. Milwaukee, they haven't put their lineups out yet, right?
Milwaukee has not put their lineup out yet.
So right now, I'm getting 5% Milwaukee.
Nice.
I'm getting mostly Minnesota, Tampa, and the Angels and Toronto.
Same here. Minnesota, Angels, Boston, and KC for me. But other than that,
same thing, right?
Yeah, exactly. Today it's all the same thing.
And as far as pitchers, Bassett, Soriano, and Littell.
Nice.
This is all DraftKings. Oh, excuse me. This is all FanDuel. Sorry about that, everybody. Yeah, so it was those teams, Bassett, Soriano, Littell. I think I'm different on DraftKings for some reason. Let's just see. Let's just see about that. Contests. Let's see. Team stacks. No, 75% Angels, actually.
75%.
Then Minnesota, then the White Sox, obviously.
Yeah, obviously you got to have the White Sox in there. That's what it is.
Listen, if I wanted to, I have no problem doing this. I mean, I could go in and go, go back in here and say I don't want 75% of the Angels, and I very well may do that.
Yeah, I mean, but like the thing is, like on this slate, like on a small slate to get different, I think this is the kind of time where it's not
take
the worst
one big stand and then hope it goes off. It's like,
I mean, they've got a reasonable run total. They've looked all right. They've got some cheap bats. Littell has some talent, but he's not like some sort of a lock pitcher or anything.
Not kind of world beater.
No. Their total is pretty similar to everybody else's today. Why not? I am surprised that the Blue Jays didn't show up more. And it just feels strange to me. Not just for my things, but like, oh, they are going to have ownership. Okay, that's why. I thought that when I first looked, I think I was looking at the wrong set of projections. The Blue Jays looked low owned, and I was like, okay, I'm sure that's where I'll just end up. But no, they're gonna be the next most owned after Milwaukee, Colorado. All right, guys. Well, anything else? I'm gonna head up to Santa Barbara a little bit, and
yeah, I am going less Angels. I'm balancing.
You're doing it, huh?
More Minnesota than the Angels.
Yeah, I like the Minnesota idea today. Actually.
And they were nice. They were nice to me last night. Got Wallner with a nice little home run in the ninth.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Looks good, I guess. I guess we're off tonight. I did my my MMA video earlier today. I'm going to do a lineup construction video tomorrow. What's the schedule look like tomorrow?
Did you play Luca?
Did I play Luca? I played some. Did he even win?
I mean, I don't know if he won, but he literally had could have had 100 fantasy points.
Well, Giddy outscored him.
Yeah, but you could have played. I mean, there's no reason you couldn't have played both of them either way.
Right. No, I know that.
Giddy had more than 75.
Yeah, on FanDuel.
Oh, I don't know about FanDuel.
That's why I was looking.
Yeah.
Because FanDuel lists the top scorers on the right.
Yeah. So you can see it easily. That's true. Yeah, he didn't have as many in the fourth quarter. I mean, in real life, he had a crazy game. He had 45, whatever. He's the only guy in history to ever score 45 points in the same building for both sides.
Yeah, that is true.
Pretty wild. He did it against the Lakers earlier this year.
All right. Is tomorrow full slate?
Tomorrow's a full slate. I'm around in the morning. I've got a doctor's thing in the afternoon, but I should be done by lock.
Okay. Hang in there for just a second when you.
All right. Good luck, everybody.